The whole world is watching and waiting to see what's going to happen with Prince Andrew. And when I saw that picture and saw that he'd been arrested, I was struck by what an extraordinary image it will be. I'm sure it will win the World Press Photo. I think it will be a lasting, iconic representation of still image, the power of still photography, and how it can kind of encapsulate what the world feels and thinks. It reminded me of The Scream by Edvard Munch. Truly extraordinary, representative of human frailty, weakness, and fear. Initially, I got really angry because no one was crediting the photographer. And when eventually other photographers were making that point, and I found out that the person who took the picture was Phil Noble, I was really pleased because I spent a day with Phil, really humble, really interesting photographer. He helped me a great deal when I was photographing Keir Starmer.
We were going to film a portfolio review today for the channel, but after seeing this picture and your reaction, I think you decided to scrap that. We'll do that next week, or
yeah, I think it's every now and then an image like that comes along and it sort of encapsulates something. It's more than just a photograph. It will become part of. It'll be social history. It's going to be cropped. It's going to be memed. It's going to be part of the human existence at the moment. I mean, I don't think I'm overstating it. It's going to be around for a long time. It'll be referenced. It'll be pastiched. It'll be used in an ironic way. It'll be laughed at. You almost feel some compassion for the guy because he is destroyed.
I wanted to do something we haven't really done on the channel. I was hoping you could get the picture up on your phone and I can on screen point to what you're talking about. But tell me what is it that makes it such a captivating picture?
Yeah, I mean, for a start, Phil Noble has sort of said that you take photographs through car windows. It's so difficult. You only get 1 in 10 that are even usable. And Prince Andrew Mountbatten is clearly kind of trying to hide. He's just in the darkness. As from his experience, he has no idea that he's going to be captured for eternity in this kind of representation of fear. And he's like a fox about to be tore apart by the hounds. He's crouched down. It's a really unflattering perspective. It's looking right up at him. It's hard flash because you need a hard flash to get through the tinted windows.
I actually assumed he was in the car when he took the picture.
No. During the time I spent with him in Italy, really incredible photographer, incredibly versatile. And I really felt when I was hanging out with him that I was out of my depth. I was not prepared. I had real imposter syndrome because I'm a portrait photographer. And seeing him at work, it didn't surprise me to see that he'd taken this picture.
Yeah. Okay, so carry on with the picture.
Well, for a start, when Phil would have looked on the back of his camera, his heart would have been pounding. I mean, this is on the cover of every newspaper in the world. I mean, this is extraordinary. And there's lots of different things to notice. I mean, the color palette, it's really cold, and that might be due to the tint of the glass and the way that it kind of unnaturally, almost like he looks like he's a cadaver. He looks like a corpse, and just by, I don't know, fortuitously, he's down really low, and he's like in a frame within a frame. So Andrew's head is behind the seat restraint. The seat restraint is right behind his head. So you've got that kind of lovely frame within a frame. You've got your eyes just drawn, and then he's sort of comforting himself. He's aware of his discomfort and fear, and he's sort of holding his hands. I mean, you can look at that picture. It is a work of art. I mean, you could look at that picture and just on a human level, it really demands you to kind of think about what is going on in his mind. It feels really good. It feels like a reckoning. I mean, it really does, because what he represents is really obnoxious. The idea that some people are better than other people by just who they happen to have as their parents. It's a really bad idea. And they sit at the pinnacle of the class system, which is what is a lot of things that are wrong with this country. We should have a system where everybody sort of gets ahead on merit. And you've got this kind of doofus who basically goes through his life, and could do something good, quite an unremarkable person, but actually, as it turns out, did really bad things and was greedy. And it wasn't enough that he had all this privilege. He put it to no good use except for his own venal pleasures, So it does feel like a correction, some kind of divine correction. And this photograph represents that. I know I'm being hyperbolic, but it's an extraordinary picture. I like the wider shot because you've got the driver and he's looking sort of perturbed. He's probably worrying about how am I going to get past all these press photographers and so on. I know that Phil talked about how he had to drive down from Manchester. His life is extraordinary. It must be so busy. It must be so hard kind of managing relationships and kids and everything. One minute he's at the Champions League, the next minute he's down in Norwich, 6-hour drive, probably down there from Manchester. I like the driver. The driver looking across gives a sense of perspective. It gives a sense of context. From the driver being there that he's in a car. It also sort of accentuates and makes you realise that this was a fleeting moment. This is one frame. There'll be one frame. The frame before that and the frame after that probably out of focus and unusable. And also, technically, that was the thing that struck me when I was working alongside Phil, was he had all this equipment. He was so on top of everything technically, and I was just sort of I felt like an amateur. He had all these flash units, so he would have a flash that is so powerful and has such good batteries that it would recycle and bang, 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 bang. It would be like a disco strobe going off. I mean, it really is capturing lightning in a jar. I mean, it's an extraordinary moment.
Yeah. So you mentioned the technical aspects, but also I guess the
skill,
genuine skill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how does Phil Noble so consistently get images like that?
Well,
when you say it's lightning in a bottle,
he's just a brilliant photographer. It's really good that he's getting the props now, because he's one of those people. He works for an agency called Reuters, which is a news agency. Yeah. He's probably an employee, and so he probably won't benefit hugely. I mean, I'm sure he'll get huge kudos, but financially, this picture will be used all over the world. It will generate hundreds of thousands of
pounds. You don't think he
pounds.
owns the copyright for this image?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Phil that, but and that that's his own personal business. But he was a really modest guy, and the interesting thing about working with him is that he got on well with everybody. He was a real team player, and when I spent the day with him, I had no idea until I looked at his feed what a star he is and what a great photographer he is. And quite often this is the thing. Initially, everyone was using his picture and no one was crediting him, and that's wrong.
Well, credit to Phil Noble.
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll
extraordinary, Phil. Yeah, good job.
If we can get some views, and hopefully we can get him on the channel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I did ask him when I spent the day with him to come. I told him about the channel, and I said we'd love to interview you, and he said I'd have to ask Reuters.
That's rough.
So, but I mean, I'm sure Reuters would be up for it. I mean, we've got nothing but good things to say.
Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. And tell us what you think in the comments below.
Yeah, sweet. And subscribe.
Yeah, indeed.
For that YouTube malarkey.
Yeah.
Cool.